Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of IDoWorkHereLady. In today's episode, the director said it was fine. On my last day, a man doesn't believe I'm the manager on duty. Oops, boss, sorry, not sorry. Now just relax. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. The director said it was fine. I run an events and operations office for a large organization that has venues we rent out, both to external clients and to other departments within the organization. We have a general policy where we require at least 10 business days notice in order to book space. Occasionally we'll suspend that if we're not super busy and or the client is really nice. Some departments within the organization are notorious for ignoring this, and will try and bully their way around these rules. We also employ a lot of college students, and oftentimes, this is their first job. Other departments know this and try to take advantage. Typically, our front office staff will answer the phones and take client information and process initial requests, but on this particular day we were short-handed, so I was helping out and answering the front office line. Events office, this is Thistlefizz, how can I help you? Yes, I need to confirm my reservation for tomorrow, she said. Not a great sign, we always confirm our events at least a week before the day of, sooner if possible. But not unheard of that clients sometimes want to double check, and this woman sounded nice enough, so I'll help her out. Certainly, do you have your reservation number? I asked. Oh no, I'm not sure where I put that, she replied, sounding sweet as pie. Okay, not the end of the world, we have other ways of finding the request. Alright, can I have your name, or the name of your event? My name is Angry Lady, and I'm in other department, she said, her voice losing a little bit of that sweetness. I looked up her department and her name, but didn't get any returns for upcoming events. I'm sorry, I'm unable to find any reservations under your name or department. Is it possible someone else made the reservation? Look, I called yesterday and booked the big conference room, why is this so difficult? She was getting annoyed now. I steeled myself for my reply, well, ma'am, we have an issue here. We do not have your event in our system. We require at least 10 business days notice for new requests. If your request came in yesterday, I'm sure my staff told you that you would need to get an accept. She cut me off, her voice having regained its sweet overtones again. Oh, well, I spoke with the director, and he told me that there wouldn't be any problem with this request. He said he'd have his staff handle this. Odd. I certainly don't remember speaking with this lady yesterday or otherwise. Ma'am, I began, I don't think that's possible. Young man, she said, all pretense of politeness completely gone now. This really threw me off too. While I'm certainly not advanced in age, it has been quite a few years since anyone under 80 called me young man, but she must have assumed I was one of the college students we usually have at the front desk. I already told you, I spoke with the director, and he approved this. I don't understand why you're being so difficult. If she had been nice about it, this would have been fine. I probably would have even tried to figure out a way to accommodate her, especially since it sounded like she just needed one of our fixed conference rooms, so it would have been easy enough to fit in. But she decided to be rude about it and lie. Time to put the hammer down. Ma'am, I am the director. I am the only one who can provide exceptions, and I definitely did not speak with you yesterday. Now, I am happy to help you find another date if you'd like, but we are not able to accommodate you for tomorrow. Silence. Then sputtering. Then she demanded to speak to my boss. I reminded her that as the director, I was the highest authority in the department, and while she was welcome to speak to my boss, the company CFO, she would just kick any event-related issues back down to me. So Angry Lady hung up. But the story doesn't end here, because this lady obviously did not believe me and didn't have the sense to make a nickel. Right after she hung up on me on the front office line, my direct line rang. And wouldn't you know it, it was angry lady herself on the caller ID. Now, usually I just answer with, "Hello, this is," my first name, as answering the phone and using my title feels pretentious, but I really wanted to drive the point home. "Hello, this is Director, my last name," I said. I guess she recognized my voice because she didn't even bother saying anything. She just hung up. On my last day, a man doesn't believe I'm the manager on duty. This was a long time ago. I was around 21, petite and pretty. This is the only excuse I have for his reaction. I was leaving the company to help my grandmother take care of my dying grandfather the next day, and was in a mood where I gave zero attention. I was also the assistant grocery director and one of 4 to 5 people that had the ability to open and close the store. I get a call over the grocery sound system calling me to one of the registers. I had just finished unloading a truck. It was around 9 p.m. It took me a minute to get to the front, but it couldn't have been much more than 5 minutes. When I get to the register, I had a cashier that was nearly in tears and a man that had lost his mind screaming at her to get the manager now. Players. Me. CM crazy man. Any nice employee. Me to any, how can I help? Any this, cut off by CM. CM, I want to talk to the manager. I was starting to wonder how I didn't hear his screeching from the back. Me, summoning all the calm and patience within me, okay sir. I'm the manager, how can I help you? CM, looks me up and down, and oh. I want to talk to the real manager. Me, if you read my badge you will see that I am the assistant grocery director. I am the manager on duty, how can I help you? CM, fine. If you won't let me talk to the real manager, I don't want anything. Walks out. Me to any as I start to void the groceries that have already been rung up and signal one of the baggers collect them to be put back. So what was that about? For those where Blue Bell ice cream is not available, they have 3 different levels at 3 different prices. The ones with a gold rim are the most expensive, silver are mid-price, and brown are the cheapest. Any, you know how we have Blue Bell on sale BOGO, buy one get one for people that don't know the lingo. Me, yeah. Any, he got one of the gold and one of the brown, but the register only gives the discount if you buy 2 of the same color. Me, he just wanted an override so that he could get the brown one free? Any, up. Gratuitous eye roll and a chorus of laughter from everyone stuck working until 11 p.m. Me, hell, it's my last day. If he had been a nice guy I might have even given the gold one free. 2 decades later it is still something that makes me shake my head when it comes to mind. On the plus side, we all got to have a moment of total understanding that CM was a monumental jerk. Oops boss, sorry not sorry. So in college, I worked basic security. One place I worked weekends was a dance club. I have very few tasks. Check identification. Confirm it's real. Spot trouble. Maintain order. I did just that. A person would come up, I'd ask for their identification, and would put it through our machine. If it passed, they would move past me to the counter to pay their cover, and if they wanted bottle service or other BS that people that want to feel special waste money on. If it failed, I'd hand the identification off to our runner, and he'd run it down the block roughly 30 feet to where local law enforcement were anyway hanging out, and I'd inform the person that an officer will be here to talk to them about their identification. Then I'd move on to the next in line. One Friday night we are slammed. I see a man at the back of the line step out and skip. Usually it's women that do this, and it gives the line a brief laugh as they end up starting over. The man says sup bro and starts go move past me. I stop him and inform him of the line and rules. He replies back that he's the owner of the club and needs to get into his office. I reply, awesome, I've never met the owner, but he had my boss hire me to check identification and wouldn't be happy if I just let you in. He balks and says if I don't let him by he will fire me. I reply, "Sir, if you truly are my boss, then you know you hired me for a specific job. If I were to let anyone past me if they claimed to work here, I wouldn't be very good at my job, and you'd have to fire me anyway." He laughs and walks away. A few minutes later he returns, shows me his identification, and I let him in. About 5 minutes later my ear radio goes off, and I'm told to head to the office. I wait for another guard to come to my post and head to the office. When I get to the office I see the guy, my direct boss, and a few other people lounging and laughing. I ask what's up. Owner replies, "You really had me pissed off. You weren't letting me in my own club, and I really did want to fire you at first." I think to myself, oh great, here we go. Owner: "However, you were professional, respectful and stuck to your guns, and your role here to keep us free of liability. I really did hire you for that, and to fire you for that would not be cool. Here's your bonus tonight." He gives me $500 and tells me I can go home. I take the 500 and reply, "Sir, I have nothing to do at home as my sleep schedule is set up for this job, and I get my entertainment from watching drunk people be dumb. If it's okay, I'd like to finish my shift." He replies, "Well, you're a weird one, but sure." So back to work. I worked there weekends throughout college, and should post more about that. Now just relax. Many years ago, when I was training as a paramedic, I worked as an EMT for an ambulance service, and we regularly went into the ER at a local hospital. One of the senior nursing staff there really had a downer on ambulance crews, and made it very clear we were just truck drivers. Let's just say she was very tough to deal with, and this was in the very early days of paramedics being trained, and that was something she really didn't approve of. She was, however, an excellent clinician, and had extensive knowledge of treating trauma cases, just not outside hospital. Part of the training involved putting lines into real people and giving them real drugs. It also means we had to intubate real people. We did this under the tutelage of an anesthetist, anesthesiologist, in a teaching hospital. I had finished my time practicing on rubber arms and on rubber heads, and was on secondment to the hospital for 10 weeks. One morning I was looking at the list of patients, and the senior nurse was down on the list for surgery, nothing earth-shattering, but a routine op that needed her to be paralyzed and ventilated. I got the job of cannulation, induction, and intubation. As she was wheeled into the anesthetic room, she saw me there and immediately asked what I was doing there. Why wasn't I out driving my truck? The anesthetist explained I was going to put the cannula in. What he didn't say was I was also going to induce her and intubate her. She was shocked into silence, and when I came up with the 4 cannula, she just said, "You'd better do this right." I was a little nervous, but the cannula went in really well, and I hooked up the 4. We popped her off to sleep and I administered the SUX, and then intubated her. The op was really smooth and off she went to recovery. As she started to come up, I took the ET tube out and left her with the recovery nurses. Later, when the anesthetic had worn off, I dropped by to say hello and got a response I didn't expect. She told me the line going in was the best cannulation she ever had, really gentle, and no real pain from it. From then on we had a great working relationship, and her views on paramedics started to change to the point she got involved in the entire training program.